Today I'm sharing a beautiful floral card inspired by my own garden. I don't know how many times you reference your own flowers in the yard to inform your colors, but that's what I'm doing for today's card. To see this come together, stick around. That video is coming up next. Here's the die set I'm using today, and this is the Clematis Layering Die Set. And of course, it comes with all of these easy-to-follow guides, and it's the keyhole system, and, well, you also get suggestions on the back. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do today is use something from my garden. These are from my garden, not this year, because there's actually still snow on the ground, but from last year. So I'm using that as my inspiration. I went ahead and did some die cutting in advance, and I will have all of the cardstock colors listed in my supply list for those who want to know what I used. All I'm doing here is blending on a little of this Lavender Fields to give a little depth and dimension to each of the petals for my bloom. Now, I'm starting with colored cardstock because sometimes that just makes it easier, right? You start with a base color that's pale, and that eliminates the need to blend extra color. But what I wanted to do to create the similarities between what grows in my garden is to take a pink and a nice small brush and just blend straight up. Now, even though this isn't going to be an exact match, just using that floral image as the base for what I'm doing with my blending was really helpful. I don't think I would have thought to bring in a pink. I probably would have just kept it with purples, but this really does smooth out and dry out so beautifully, and it ends up being a really, really pretty effect. So look into nature. Not a bad idea, especially if you've got those blooms and then you have those die cuts that match. So here I'm blending a little bit more all out, and now I'm moving on to the centers. So here I just took some cardstock. I think this is Shattered Shell, and darkening up one layer with vanilla cream, going a little bit heavier, and then a little lighter on the second layer. So just to create a little difference. Now here my cardstock is Frayed Leaf, and I'm blending two colors on, but just a little of this darker matcha tea, because that's going to be the very top of the flower when I start to build everything up. So then you glue. It's so easy because you line up whatever the style of keyhole is, and this is the arrow. So a little liquid glue around each of those openings, and then you build a bloom. I think this keyhole system has changed the way I think about more intricate die-cut florals, because if I were doing this without a guide, I don't think I would know exactly what to do, but the keyhole really is it's a cool design because everything has the hole, this particular keyhole, which is the arrow. So I'm just building up the flower, and you can see how the petals have already started to kind of soften, and the ink just softens right into the cardstock, and it gives this really dreamy look. Again, it's not going to be a perfect match to my particular blooms. We also have really dark purple clematis that have like no detail at all. But we'll have to see what comes this summer. You never know. In Minnesota, where I live, things can change from year to year. But this flower, a little zhuzhing can happen, and that one is done. And I will do the same for the other bloom as well off camera. All right, now 2 blooms, and now I'm going to add a little ink to the green leaves. Now, this cardstock is olive green, I believe. And I started out by adding matcha tea, but I knew this is going to dry back so light that you're not going to notice it. I added some anyway, just wanted to build up the ink, but I'm going to bring in a darker green, and I could have gone even darker because when inks dry into the cardstock, sometimes they do go back a little lighter than you think they're going to go, and actually, I should have gone a little darker towards the edges because a lot of this base is going to get buried. But you know, you blend and it feels good, feels good. So those are my leaves. This is actually a very easy set to work with, especially if you've never done a craft a flower. They really come together quickly. Now, I thought I would add a stencil design to the actual note card that I'm going to put my flowers on. So here I'm just bringing on a really soft wash, and I'm using my larger brush because this makes ink application quicker, but also very soft and smooth. I just want a wash of this design as the background for my floral design. I thought it would be a nice way to bring in another visual element, but to be soft and pretty in the background. And that's just some Altenew masking paper to protect the other side of my note card. Now I can pick it up and fold it down. So now I don't have any additional panel to put on this. It's just right onto the front of the note card. So that will be the base for my design. I prepared a greeting off camera. It will say grateful. And now it's time to kind of figure out what is this going to look like. And I decided to cut some of my bloom apart, and I'm going to end up cutting a little bit more. I plan on trimming the first flower here from the edge of the cardstock so that it will look like it's kind of bleeding off. But even that leaf was getting in the way of my design. So when you're working with a set like this that has leaves or greens of some kind, don't be afraid to just cut them. Cut them apart and place them as you need them. Because again, this is just a USA 2 size card. So it's 4¼ wide by 5½ inches tall. These blooms are really big, and I knew I wasn't going to make a larger card. I don't do many 5x7 cards. I don't know, I like the small size of the USA 2, but that design, that's starting to work. So I have a little bit of foam tape just on this smaller, well, it's a little smaller, that smaller bloom. So that can kind of pop up a little bit over the top of the leaves and the other bloom. And now it's just a matter of layering in the greens to get a gathering that looks good to my eye. And that's so easy to do with whatever pieces you have left over. But you can kind of see how I'm kind of hiding all of that blending that I did. You know, you don't know until you get there, right? And that's part of building the card. Now there I just snipped off the overhang, and that's the arrangement. However, got to do a little splatter on here, and I thought I would do white. Now this gouache is really nice for splattering. It's very opaque. I put way too much down. You just, put a little water and make a mixture and then tap it on. I usually use a round paintbrush these days because it works really well, but I just think that's really pretty. Just kind of brings it alive a little bit. Now I've got strategically placed pieces of foam tape on this greeting because I want part of it to be under a bloom and over a leaf and over another leaf, but then I'm going to pull that leaf up. But I really think this is a cool arrangement, just sinking that greeting all the way down. And there are 2 other white cardstock layers of the word grateful underneath. But I also had a little liquid glue on those foam squares just so I could wiggle it a bit. And then I'm going to pull that leaf up and over like that. Love this arrangement. And I thought I would add a little bit more in. Again, you can just grab a leaf, cut it, glue it, and fill out the design as you see fit. I don't think you can go wrong with extra leaves. I think you can sometimes with extra flowers, but the leaves, I finished it off using some stellar sequins, and that completes the design of the card. So let's do a quick design review of today's card. Now I'm going to bring in this overlay, which is coming soon to my CZ design collection. For right now, this is a prototype, but this is what my new grid is going to look like because people have been asking to purchase this rather than make your own. So this will be coming out later this month. So what we have here is we have our large greeting in the lower row. That's a row. It's a compositional grid, and that's a really nice place to center and anchor the whole design. Now we have the area up here that's primarily filled with the flowers, right? And both designs repeat the same flower twice. Well, it's slightly different flower. And yeah, I think this is a really nice balance for the design. It's a very full design. All right, so I'll take this off. And we do have our repeating spatter. We have our repeating style of the color of our leaves. We have a little gold brushed metallic here and then some shiny gold sequins that repeat on opposing sides. These are in even numbers. Sometimes I'm feeling even, sometimes I'm feeling odd. But one of the things I love about this card is look at all the texture and layers this has. Like, it feels really cool to see it in person where you can really get all that texture detail from the dies. And we have that background stenciled pattern that's just kind of a nice, pretty grounding color that connects to the centers as well as the leaves. So that's my attempt for recreating the clematis that grows in my backyard. I didn't quite nail it completely. However, I think when I show this to my husband, he's going to get super excited for June, which is, well, it's just around the corner, and school will be out for him as well. Clematis and summer break. Bonus. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. I'll have a link to a blog post as well as a link to the visual supply list that has all of the products I've used. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here is another video you might be interested in checking out, and I'll see you in that clip. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.